Welcome to FN Weekly. Top headlines. Parliamentary Standing Committee calls for the creation of dedicated research council for the domestic fisheries sector. Rupees 47 crore wholesale fish market in Telangana. Deputy CM Batti Vikramarka. Aquabiz 2.0 event held successfully in Kochi. Rupees 3,490 crore allocated for new fishing harbours in the country. Coastal fishermen in Andhra Pradesh facing tough conditions. In the recent Parliament session, the member of the Parliamentary Standing Committee appointed for the Department of Animal Husbandry suggested the establishment of a special research council for the domestic fisheries sector. The committee proposed naming it the Indian Council for Fishery and Agriculture Research, stating that this council would not only enhance fish production but also help in addressing the issues faced by the sector promptly. The fisheries sector, which contributes significantly to the country's economy, would greatly benefit from such a specialized research council, and this development is being welcomed by Fishery News. Telangana's Deputy Chief Minister Mallu Batti Vikramarka stated that the Congress government is deeply committed to the development of state's fisheries sector. In his speech during a recent assembly session, he mentioned that a wholesale fish market would be established at Goheda in the Rangareddy district with an investment of 47 crores. He expressed the opinion that this would not only provide livelihoods to local fishermen but also significantly boost fish exports from Telangana. The recently held Aquabiz 2.0, a business meet organized by the Central Institute of Fisheries Technology in Kochi, was a grand success. During the event, Vijay Kumar Behra, Chief Executive of NFDB, stated that through the Fisheries and Aquaculture Infrastructure Development Fund, they are strongly promoting intensive aquaculture, culture-based capture fisheries in reservoirs, coastal aquaculture, mariculture, and seaweed culture across the country. The meet also saw the participation of former Secretary of Fisheries and Animal Husbandry, Tarun Sridhar, Vice President of the Seafood Exporters Association, Alex Ninnan, and others. A large awareness seminar on schemes such as the Prime Minister's Fishery Wealth Scheme, Fisheries and Aquaculture Infrastructure Development Fund, and LIFIC was recently held in South Tripura. Notably, over 380 fishermen and more than 50 farmers participated in the seminar. The event, inaugurated by Mrs. Swapna Majumdar, Municipal Chairman of Santir Bazar, provided local fishermen with a comprehensive understanding of the incentive schemes offered by both the central and state governments. The central government has allocated Rs 3,490 crores through the PMMSY scheme for the establishment of new fish landing centers and fishing harbours across state and union territories in the country. These funds can not only be used for setting up new harbours but also for dredging and modernization of existing ones. Union Minister of Ports, Shipping and Waterways, Sarbananda Sonowal, revealed in the Rajya Sabha that these projects would lead to significant increases in production, reduction in losses, and growth in exports. Focusing on boosting exports, the central government has taken up the modernization of fishing harbours at major ports such as Visakhapatnam, Mumbai, Paradeep, Kochi, and Chennai under the Sagarmala project, fully funded by their own resources. Fishermen in Andhra Pradesh are facing difficult circumstances. Due to the 61-day fishing ban from April 15th to June 14th, about 80% of the boats at the Visakhapatnam harbour are still limited, and the situation is worsening. Additionally, the significant decline in the numbers of silver pomfret and seer fish has caused their prices to soar. Another factor is the reduced demand for sea prawns, with exporters focusing only on Vanamai prawns due to higher demand in both local and global markets, leading to losses for fishermen. Furthermore, rising diesel prices and labor costs are adding to the hardships of fishermen. Fishery News urges the government and state fisheries officials to respond immediately and support the fishermen engaged in sea fishing. On January 27th, 13 fishermen who were arrested after crossing the international border and being shot at by the Sri Lankan Coast Guard reached Chennai. They were identified as being from Mailadatturai, Nagapattinam, and Karaikal in Tamil Nadu. Among them, 27-year-old Senthamis from Karaikal was injured in the firing by Sri Lankan authorities. He was treated in Sri Lanka and was transferred to MGM Hospital in Chennai as soon as he arrived. The fishermen's release efforts were appreciated by the leaders of the Fishermen's Association, who congratulated Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin for his efforts. Fish prices in Bengaluru have suddenly skyrocketed. Local fish traders have reported that fish prices have increased by around 30%. There are several reasons for this increase, with the primary ones being the fear of bird flu and the rise in mutton prices, which has led people to focus more on fish. However, due to the heat wave in Karnataka, 80% of the boats are limited to the shore, which has resulted in a limited supply of fish. Union Environment Minister Bhupendra Yadav announced that the government will address the protests being held by fishermen and local coastal communities against offshore sand mining. Speaking in the Lok Sabha on Monday, he mentioned that the first round of auction for 13 offshore mining blocks, including 3 blocks in Kerala, was initiated last November. He assured that while designing production plans and environmental conservation schemes, the needs and issues of fishermen and local communities would be taken into account and necessary action would be taken. The minister emphasized that all precautions would be taken, keeping in mind the livelihoods of coastal communities and marine biodiversity. Indian scientists have decoded the mitochondrial DNA of the largest cavefish, Neoleucellus PNAR, found in the caves of Meghalaya. This fish can grow up to 40 centimeters in length. It was discovered in 2019 in the Ladao and Kremkaimpe caves of Meghalaya. The research was conducted jointly by scientists from ICAR, NBFGR, Lucknow, Lady Keane College, and Guwahati University. They reported that the fish mitogenome contains 37 genes. Notably, the Speleological Associations of India has already declared this fish as the National Cave Animal of the Year. ICAR CIFRI celebrated its 79th Foundation Day on March 17th in a grand manner. The event highlighted the progress made in inland fisheries production, environmental conservation, and the role the institute plays in rural livelihood development. A key highlight of the event was the launch of the Ganga River Fish Stocking Program. ICAR CIFRI recently introduced new technological methods including net pan designs suitable for deep reservoirs, new technologies in cage culture, IoT-based oxygen management systems, specialized formulations for fish health management, big data analytics, and research on antimicrobial resistance in West Bengal. Swami Shivapurnandaji, the chief guest, praised the institute's efforts and congratulated the officials for contributing to rural development in the country through research. Director Dr. B.K. Das explained that the 2 million tons of production from inland water accounts for 12.5% of India's total fish production. The event was attended by prominent personalities, scientists, fish farmers, and researchers. The release of 120,000 fish fry into the Ganga River was the main highlight of the event. This initiative is part of the National Mission for Clean Ganga project and is expected to help in maintaining environmental balance and biodiversity conservation. The President of the Maldives, Dr. Mohammad Muizu, has signed a new agreement with the Chinese government. Discussions are ongoing between the two countries to set up fish aggregation devices in the Indian Ocean. These devices will help in collecting marine chemical and physical data and tracking fish movements. A Chinese research ship, Xiang Yang Hong 03, has already conducted research in the Maldives waters. India has expressed concerns over this. In February 2025, the Maldives government signed another agreement with the Chinese Ocean Research Institute. However, there are growing doubts about whether these arrangements are solely aimed at environmental sustainability or if there are other strategic intentions behind them. Criticisms have been raised about the lack of transparency in the Maldives government's actions. Such clandestine moves may lead to further complicating the relationship between India and the Maldives. The government has introduced a new policy for fishermen going out to sea for fishing. To detect fish movements in the ocean and receive early warnings about cyclones and other natural disasters, transponders will be installed on the fisherman boat. These transponders will help in identifying areas with fish and assist in carrying out the fishing operations. Additionally, by providing early warnings during cyclones, the system will help fishermen reach the shore safely. In the Mogultur and Narsapuram mandals of West Godavari district, there are 146 motorized boats. As part of the first phase, transponders have been supplied to 9 inboard motorized boats. With the new system, the position of the boats can be tracked, enabling quick response when help is needed. This new policy ensures that fishermen can fish safely and receive the necessary information in advance. JD of the Fisheries Department RVSV Prasad introduced the system, stating that it will make it easier to know the boat's status and provide assistance when needed. The central government is set to implement a subsidy scheme for turtle excluder devices to be installed on fishing nets. The use of these devices will reduce the chances of turtles getting trapped in the nets and dying during fishing operations. In the past, due to turtle deaths, the USA imposed a ban on marine shrimp imports from India. This issue was recently discussed at the Aquabiz 2.0 event organized by CIFT officials in Kochi. Under the subsidy scheme, the central government will cover 60% of the cost of TEDs, while the state governments will bear 40%. The locally developed TED device by CIFT is priced at Rs 25,000. 3 people were arrested on Wednesday in connection with the alleged incident of a woman being tied to a tree and beaten in Udupi district, Karnataka. According to the police, the incident occurred on March 18th near Malpe Fishing Harbour, where a 41-year-old woman was accused of stealing fish. She was tied to a tree and assaulted. Videos of the incident went viral on social media, showing a woman tying the victim to a tree and beating her, while bystanders watched from a distance. The police stated that the victim was accused of stealing fish and was beaten by a group of people. The main accused, Lakshmi Bai, 58-year-old, Sundar, 40 years old, and Shilpa, 36-year-old, were arrested by the police on Wednesday. Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah expressed deep concern over the incident. Government officials have closed 2 beaches in South Australia following an incident where dead fish and unusual white foam washed ashore. Reports on Tuesday indicated that surfers were experiencing illness. According to Sam Gallard, the chief scientist at the South Australian Environmental Protection Agency, unusual weather conditions have led to the growth of microalgal bloom. He stated that this bloom could cause illness in both humans and marine life. The algae also created a foam covering hundreds of meters of shoreline. As a result, the Waitpinga Beach and Parsons Beach, located south of the state capital, Adelaide, have been closed to the public since Monday. The Government of India's Fisheries Department has approved projects worth rupees 1,358 crore for the development of the fisheries sector in Kerala. Of this, the central share is rupees 574 crore. These funds have been allocated under the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana for the period from 2021 to 2025. So far, the central government has released 344 crore to Kerala. The projects include support of productive activities such as fish hatcheries, brackish water culture, cage culture, biofloc units, and deep sea fish vessels. Additionally, funds have been allocated for the development of infrastructure such as fishing harbour upgrades, ice plant or cold storage, fish transport vehicles, and live fish vending centers. Livelihood and nutritional support have also been provided to 1,79,316 fishermen in Kerala during the fishing ban period. Further programs such as coastal fishing villages, climate resilient villages, and artificial reefs are being implemented. Although there is no separate scheme for river fisheries development, activities such as pen culture, fish seed stocking, and providing boats and nets to traditional fishermen are being carried out. The Kerala government is implementing pen culture and fish ranching in rivers and canals under the Integrated Fishery Management Scheme. This information was provided by the Minister of State for Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, Sri George Kurian, in a written reply in the Rajya Sabha on March 19, 2025. Follow fishery.news for more updates.